threatening the city a few days ago. Now you're defending it. I want to.
Oh, yeah, because she's not black.
Yes.
What you gonna do? What you...
I hate this channel.
No! No!
A definite ending. Something that seems like a long-forgotten sentiment. A myth nowadays in modern media. I swear, every time I turn my head, I hear or see an announcement of a sequel, a revival, or a reboot of some long-lasting IP, albeit from 50 years ago, or hell, a reboot of something from 5 years ago. And it just got me wondering, is Hollywood scared of original ideas? Now, originally, when I was doing this topic, it was going to just be about Disney and their barrage of sequels, reboots, and rehashing of old IPs they keep pushing on their audiences, but honestly, that would be a disservice to how big of an issue this actually is. This is an entire Hollywood problem. Speaking of problems, there may be a problem with your screen if the subscribe button doesn't say subscribed and if the thumbs up button isn't glowing, so to alleviate that issue, go ahead and give them a click and comment down below if that solved the issue.
Megamind is back,
I'm kind of a big deal.
and you're welcome.
You're all so lucky to have me as your hero. Wow.
Our journey to victory has begun! Death to the MPLA!
Anyways, looking back, one could say this is not really a new issue, like how in the early 2010s we had the Men in Black sequel or trequel? Whatever, 10 years after the previous one. Or, if we look even further back, we have things like The Italian Job and Ocean's 11 and the 2000s rebooting classic 1960s films. I mean, the if it ain't broke don't fix it idiom has been a solidified rule in Hollywood since its inception. Like, I couldn't tell you when was the last time I've seen a completely original idea spawned by current filmmakers or TV executives in Hollywood that is a completely original idea that isn't tied to any prior established intellectual properties that we can call a modern day classic since, like, I don't know, Inception? Oh yeah, Everything Elsewhere All at Once was amazing too, but does that even count as a Hollywood film? I think that is more of an independent film. I don't know, you decide. Either way, the matter of the fact is that Hollywood would much rather invest in established IPs than original ideas. Just to paint a picture for you, here's a big portion of announced TV shows and movies that are set to be released or in production this year. We got The Wizards of Waverly Place revival, How to Train Your Dragon live action, Kung Fu Panda 4, a Rayman movie, Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey 2, Frozen 3, the Garfield movie, another Planet of the Apes movie, even though all those have been outstanding, but the point still stands. Inside Out 2, Bad Boys 4, A Quiet Place sequel, a Twister reboot, another Aliens movie, a Borderlands movie. Need I go on? Now, needless to say, when I was looking at the release slate, there are a few movies based on some supposed original ideas sprinkled throughout, such as what I'm personally excited for, The Monkey Man, but they do not get nearly as advertised as these reboots or sequels. Like, let's take for example the movie Twisters that's coming out this summer, the reboot of the 1996 film Twister. Like, who asked for that? Twister was so iconic because of its outstanding effects and sound design, breaking new ground for the film industry in the 90s. What new ground can you tread remaking it in 2024 that you can't see in every other action film being released nowadays? It just seems like a waste of time. Like, what, are you gonna have like a giant light beam flying from the sky from the tornado like every other action movie that came out within the past decade? I don't know. Seems like a waste of time. Or let's say How to Train Your Dragon live action. Again, who is asking for this? What is the point of remaking a movie that is not much over a decade old, that is already visually and narratively S-tier, just to rake in dough with nostalgia bait? And honestly, how are they even supposed to make scenes like this live action without making it dull, dark, or take away things that made the originals so visually stunning? And don't even get me started with Disney. They somehow figured out how to take two of the strongest IPs out there, turn it on its head in less than a decade, pit the fan bases against each other, turning away original fans, or just overall mishandling the IP, albeit from trying to tell fans what they should want instead of just giving them what they want, putting people in power that honestly don't even understand the property in the first place, hiring amateur writers that have no ties or prior knowledge of said property and just want to use it to self-insert or boost their portfolio, or just overall oversaturating the market with said property, boosting burnout and not allowing fans to digest what they already have so they can actually anticipate the next release. Jeez, I'm getting ahead of myself. And off topic, sorry. I'll save this rant for another video. Anyways, If I'm going to talk about Disney, I gotta talk about their mishandling of their own IPs with these dumb live action remakes. Now, I like the Jungle Book live action, but everything after that has been so ass, and they keep pushing these subpar live action remakes at an alarming rate. It's almost as if they don't understand why these movies were so iconic in the first place. There's some things that can only be captured by animation that they're leaving at the wayside for the sake of hyperrealism. Like, look at some of this compared to their animated counterparts. This is really just not needed. Honestly, this just seems like Disney's updated version of the whole Disney Vault debacle. You know, when Disney decided to re-release their films on VHS or DVD every few years in the 90s and 80s, playing on the fans' FOMO and fake scarcity to reintroduce said IPs to new generations and constantly generate money off of them.
On May 1st,
This is no time to panic. This is the perfect time to panic.
the toys are going back into the vault.
For the last time.
Bring home Disney and Pixar's Toy Story and Toy Story 2 on DVD and video.
Let's go!
Before it's too late.
But since that format is pretty much dead due to streaming and the internet, they're just going to re-release said films as live-action remakes to keep generating money off of it without the risk of investing in an original idea. I don't know, just a thought.
First of all, congratulations, Mr.
Disney.
Hello, I like money.
What inspired you to
Remake all your animated films.
Money!
But anyways, on the TV side of things, Disney or even Hollywood has fully given up on original TV shows. If you're looking for originality, honestly, just watch anime. Like, Lord knows what Cartoon Network is doing. Comedy Central literally only has South Park and maybe The Daily Show? I'm pretty sure Trevor Noah left, so I don't really even know what's going on with that. Nickelodeon barely gives anything that isn't SpongeBob time of day. For Disney, I mean, Big City Greens is pretty good, and there's probably a few other gems, but since we know Phineas and Ferb is getting new seasons and Wizards of Waverly Place is coming back, are we really expecting a solid investment in these new shows, or the likeliness that they're just going to push them to the wayside to roll out said nostalgia bait? I don't know. I'm pretty much done with my rant about these IPs. Honestly, I agree with the one sentiment. I forgot who said it, but yeah, this one dude pretty much said that I understand that Hollywood's going to keep doing these remakes and reboots, but how about instead of remaking and rebooting things that came out less than a decade ago, or IPs that we've been getting reboots every 5 years, why don't we have more things like Dune, where we're making movies that were tried to be made in the 80s and 90s, but technology just wasn't up to par to do it. So now we can actually do those things where the technology's up to par, instead of just remaking and rebooting things for the sake of remaking and rebooting. Like, do we really need a Lord of the Rings reboot or Harry Potter reboot TV show? Like, I don't really think so, but I'll let you guys decide. Anyways, all I gotta say is to send us off is, if we are gonna keep getting reboots and sequels, can I get a Galaxy Kids Next Door or a Billy and Mandy revival, or at least a continuation of that Under Fist pilot at the end of the series, or a Sweet Life revival? I know I just spent like the last 10 minutes ranting about this being a problem, but I got wants too. Anyways, thanks for watching till now, and leave a comment on what you think about this era in Hollywood, and if this is really the end of originality, or if we are ever going to get a definitive and end to long-running IPs anytime soon. Again, thanks for watching, and see y'all in the next one.